the truth.
Hey guys, so this is a r/skinwalker Reddit. So like 6 months or so before COVID, me being 26 years old and my younger daughter being 8, and I live with my mother. My mom has this house that's kind of on the edge of town. We live in Arizona, so my daughter surrounded by desert. The closest bus stop all to her mom's house. We were definitely enjoying. One Sunday afternoon, we had to go grocery shopping, so we set out on the bus. We went shopping. And then we did a little window shopping for a little too long afterwards. So when we went to go catch the bus, I realized it was like, I know I'm definitely not one to talk about common sense, but still. Anyway, so I tried everyone I could ask for a ride back to the house. I absolutely dread walking from that bus stop at night because after you get past the college, there are no streetlights. It's literally like pitch black aside from the occasional car headlight passing. That's alright, except my daughter's absolutely petrified of the dark. And there are often homeless camps that are right on the edge of the desert. That's where we live. I'm always nervous one of those people are going to jump out and try to take me. Okay, so if a homeless person's going to come behind you and all you have is just mace and a knife, like why? Like a homeless person isn't just going to come up to you with a rusty screwdriver and be like, give me all your money, or like a sock filled with like butter, like moldy butter, or like change. Like that's not gonna do much. Like try to carry like a taser, not one of those like tasers you have to like shank someone with, but one of those like cop tasers. I don't know if those are illegal or not, but like you see him, just get down, stop it. I mean, you might miss because it's dark, but I'm pretty sure they have like the stabby ones too attached to it. But why are you just carrying mace and a pocket knife? It's so easy for someone to just go up behind you and just go, give me everything you got. Anyway. At last, not one person was able to drive us home, so we hopped on the bus anyways. I tried to prepare my little one for the dark, walk ahead, and let her know she was just going to be A-okay and safe with me. I carried mace and a pocket knife. By the time we pulled up to the college, it was fully dark out. As the bus driver stopped the bus, I caught the back feet and tail of what looked like a giant, I'm talking 10-foot naked dog jumped into the bushes right in front of the bus. Okay, like you said, you're by the homeless people. You didn't tell us if you're blind, if there's something wrong with you, or like, you know. But, I mean, there's some pretty tall homeless people, okay? And you can't let them down. Some of them don't have any clothes, and some of them are just super hairy. Just like, I'm talking about super hairy. Like, I've gone walking around, and I've just seen a homeless guy without a shirt, and I thought I saw Bigfoot. Anyway, I'm a total skeptic and definitely assumed my eyes were playing tricks on me. However, right as the figure disappeared into the bush, I heard the bus driver say, "What the was that?" staring in the direction it was in. This was almost the most terrifying walk of my life, as I held my little girl's hand, speed walking as much as I could handle, trying not to show her how afraid I was. I wouldn't dare look back. As soon as I got into the house, I turned on all the lights, locked every door, checked all the windows were still locked. I looked up what it might be, and Google seemed to agree with me. It might be a skinwalker. Okay, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying it is possible. All I'm gonna say, there's some pretty big homeless people, okay? And if it's in the dark, pitch black dark, like you're saying, I don't know if the bus driver had like the giant flashing lights on, if he had his brights on. It could have just been a bear. I don't know much about Nevada or Las Vegas or wherever that is, but Arizona, but I just don't think it could have been one. I guess it's possible. We have r/paranormal. The time I proved myself ghosts are real. It was spring of 2008. I just started a job at a fancy resort in upstate New York. I was assigned to work in the kitchen of a golf course restaurant, which was a few miles from the main hotel and resort. The restaurant was a small cottage that had a restaurant and a small locker room for golfers and both sexes to use. The first encounter that made me think that something was up with this old cottage was in late April. The course was not very open yet, as some snow still lay on the links. Only my boss and head chef and I were on the property preparing for a private party that was being hosted at the golf club. The kitchen was small and consisted of a small line with stoves, ovens, boilers, and a take-out window. This then led to a small dishwashing area that finally led to a small prep area that sported a screen door to the outside. I was in the prep area processing some vegetables for the evening service. It was a sunny, warm, late April afternoon, and I had the screen door open to the outside. All of a sudden, I heard the giggling of a child, which sounded like it was coming from the outside of the screen door. The laughter got louder and louder, till I finally checked out the door to find no one was there. The still closed golf course was empty. Soon after this, my boss came to check on my progress. I told him the story and asked him if he's ever seen any children playing outside the club. He said no, and then he told me a story that chilled me. He had worked at the golf club for a few seasons now and told me the club was haunted by a little boy. He said he moves stuff and plays tricks on people. I was instantly intrigued. I went out and bought a $20 digital voice recorder from Target. This was 2008 and phones were not what they were today. The cheap device was my plan to see if the story was true. I set the recorder in the creepiest part of the cottage, the woman locker, where several wait staff reported hearing voices and seeing things. I set the recorder up before I left the night in the locker room and went home. The next day I came back to work, ran to grab the recorder instantly. I spent the whole day listening at work, but was too busy to really listen. When I got home, I threw on some headphones and listened as close as I could. At one point, I captured the waitress at the end of their shift talking. They were there grabbing their purse, discussing tips. That's what I heard. While they chatted, I could hear a voice whisper, "Out now." The girl never acknowledged the voice. They kept talking as a voice that sounded like a low whisper is speaking. I was blown away. A $20 recorder, and the joke I was trying to disprove was seeming more real by the second. Determined to get to the bottom of this, I ran to work the next day, record in hand. I went up to the women's locker room, located on the top floor, and in the back of the cottage. I was alone. 6:30 a.m., the first to arrive. I took my $20 recorder from Target, and I started to ask questions like, "What is your name? Why are you here?" Pausing for a minute or two in between questions. Silence. I heard nothing. After 10 questions or so, I take the recorder out to my car, hook it up to the larger car speaker. This is when I knew, once and for all, where ghosts are real. Ghosts are very real. So real, I well up in tears just writing this for you. After I was done asking your name, I hear, as clear as day, "Bobby, Bobby, Bobby." But this was not a living person. It sounded as if they were making a movie like a creepy ghost boy would sound in a horror movie. But this was real. This was some dumb kid playing around at work with a $20 recorder, thinking his boss was pulling his leg. I let dozens and dozens of people hear this tape, scaring friends and family for years. With this tape, eventually the recorder was lost, and I don't have it to share with anyone today. But again, I'm not a ghost hunter. I'm not selling anything. I'm a guy on the internet telling a story. Since that day, I haven't believed in ghosts. Or I have believed in ghosts.
The truth.